So welcome everyone, Team 25 Europe, the expo floor. I'm joined by Tiffany To, who has been working on Atlassian Ascend. And we've been hearing a lot of news about this. It's been a flood of information coming out over the past month. And the biggest question I'm getting from my audience is, why now? What was the logic and the timing? Perhaps you could explain some of that?
It's a great question, Rodney, and it's not one that we took lightly. First, I'll say I don't think it was a surprise for most folks. Nope. I think we've been sending some clear signals that we want to invest in value in the cloud platform, and we've seen the roadmaps really represent that over the last few years. We've seen so many customers migrating to cloud and getting a lot of value. Mm-hmm. So it was all a matter of, okay, is there a time when we actually set an end date for this journey to cloud? And the reason why we were comfortable doing the Ascend announcement now was really based on a lot of customer feedback, in the sense that with everything happening with AI, we had so many customers that were excited to really rebuild their workflows with AI. And to do that, they need to be on our cloud platform. Many of them had already been excited to move to cloud, but there was this feeling of inertia sometimes. Like, data center is a great, set of products, sitting there, it's working, and they would tell me it was very hard to convince leadership or management to change something that wasn't broken, right? And so now with AI and the opportunity to rebuild a lot of those workflows and get a very new level of business value, being able to put an end date with Ascend so they could go back and have that conversation with their managers, with their leaders, build a business case with AI, and then be able to present a path and journey to cloud, because the tooling that we've been building has gotten better and better to migrate. That gave us the confidence that now is the right time, and we believe with that 3-year timeline, we also enable people to start building those plans and executing it over the 3 years, right?
Yeah, and that's a good point there. I have a large customer that I moved onto DC in 2020, around the time of the server end of life. And they asked about AI back then, because it's a little bit in infancy, but it's starting to come out, and they were like, what can we do with data center? I'm like, that's not really an option on data center. And now I'm back with that same client now, starting our journey to cloud with them. And I'm like, the data center question you asked me 5 years ago, the answer now is yes. And that's such a gratifying thing as a consultant to be able to say. The second concern I've been getting from our listeners, our watchers, is the roadmap timing. 3 years is a pretty long time, but we know from the server end of life, it'll be here before anyone really thinks about it. What was the logic behind that roadmap, and do you feel that maybe that was too long or too short, or maybe just right?
Yeah, we had a lot of debate about this. One of the things that is important, I know, especially for large, complex enterprises, is they need enough years to do the planning. But if you make the timeline too long with anything, then no one gets started, right? No one's able to actually build the business plan. So for us, looking historically, like you said, at like server to DC, but not just that, because we know server to DC was a license key change, and so it was a much faster migration process.
Yes.
We really looked at, okay, what are those upgrades to cloud looking like for large customers? Like, we migrated Micron with 69,000 seats this year. We migrated Mercedes-Benz, 50,000 seats. So as we looked at these very large migrations and how long it took to build the business case, plan it, and execute it, that's what gave us confidence that 3 years felt like the right sweet spot, because you could build the business case, actually inventory your workflows and think about what you wanted to bring into cloud, what workflows you want to transform with AI, and then work through, as we know, marketplace apps and customizations are a huge part of that footprint. It's not just moving Jira and Confluence alone. It's bringing an assessment of what things to reconfigure and bring across. But I think that's going to be a really important place, like you said, for consultants to add value, right? It's going to be, yes, you're no longer managing the infrastructure or data center, but now you're going to be rebuilding a lot of these apps with AI and new customizations. And so I think it moves from managing service infrastructure services to delivering new business value to the organization. So hopefully that gets people excited.
The other concern I have is, or I've heard, is that a lot of people they've been data center or server admins their entire career. They're really great at running systems, but they may not be as skilled with managing a cloud instance or being an org admin or having to learn a whole bunch of new skills out of nowhere, and some pretty late in their career. If you could say something to those people to maybe calm their nerves and let them know, hey, it's going to be all right, what would you say to them?
Yeah, I mean, related to what we were just talking about in terms of shifting their focus from managing infrastructure to building new apps and customizations, I think it's the perfect time to be learning these things because it's all now infused in an AI first way, right? So I think it's not about, I've got to learn a new programming language, right? Which can be hard to do. It's actually about learning how to take the systems thinking, I think that they probably already have because they're managing DC systems, they're managing all these workflows, and now thinking about it with different building blocks. They're now building blocks on our platform, using our platform apps, and then using our teamwork graph. And with Studio and Forge, you've got some really nice tool sets, and we're seeing customers build thousands of new apps on Forge. And so I have high confidence that we've got a really great set of admins that will be able to build and upskill. And we're here to support you. So we're launching, I think this year, going into next year, we'll have 3 Atlas camps. We'll have a lot of dev days. So we want to be part of this journey of like upskilling and growing the ability for all of our community to be able to build these new apps in our ecosystem. So,
all right. Well, thank you for joining us today. We're here day 1. We'll be here all week. We've got so many Atlassians lined up. I said thank you for joining us, and we'll catch you guys next time. A quick shout out to ServiceRocket and the crew member program built for Atlassian Certified freelancers. If you ever wanted access to bigger projects but run into roadblocks like compliance or audits, this program helps bridge that gap. You'll get to work on the big projects, grow your skills through certification support, and join a community of like-minded experts. If this sounds like a win for you, look into our description for the link.